Before you go any further, firstly, welcome.
Thanks very much, Chris.
And secondly, before we go any further, have a chat to Steve because he's already called and waiting to have a chat to you.
Oh, top of the queue.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, how you going, guys?
G'day, Steve. What's up?
Yeah, I've got a cracker for you tonight, and you guys probably know about it.
Promises.
This afternoon, I filmed my daughter's chooks and ducks feeding in their little bowl for food, and they were having a little tantrum and attacking each other and pushing them out and everything. So I thought tonight I might just pop that up on Facebook and put a little comment like, "Oh, here's our politicians feeding," and it won't post. It is secured, like will not upload. So I did another test, and that went up. That posted, but the one about the politics. So to me, it looks like there's a little bit of collusion going on with the government stopping posting going on Facebook. Yes. So I'm a little bit annoyed because I found it quite funny because that's exactly what happens. They all get the trough and they get in there like a bunch of pigs.
So which way did this go, Steve? We can test your theory. Look, I'll tell you right now, your theory about the government and that. To be honest with you, we don't buy that theory. However, there is a way you can test it out. All you do is post the video of the ducks and the geese and what have you having a scrap without any comment. If you don't,
I did that.
Well,
and that went up.
And it went up.
I did that.
Okay.
And as soon as I put the political comment on, it went down.
All right. There have been changes recently within social media where they are.
Metadata.
Yep. So with social media, what they've been doing recently is sort of clamping down on misinformation and basically anything political. It seems
to be politically favoured, though.
I don't know. It'd be hard to tell. I mean, without.
No,
well, what you said was you said politicians. You didn't say any political party.
No party. Just here's the pollies feeding, or here's the Liberal Party having their feast.
Yep.
And it won't upload. And so I'm a bit concerned about that because that's actually persecuting public opinion because we can only have us to put posts up to express our concerns. And when it's politically controlled and controlled by metadata.
Well, I wouldn't think it's got anything to do with the government controlling it.
Yeah.
Apart from anything else, mate, it's something that runs from another country.
Is it a concern, though? It should be a concern when you put up a little funny post.
You know what you should do? You should complain to Facebook that you haven't been able to post it.
Oh, well, that's why I'm
because I would suggest it's going to be more an issue with them than it is with any perceived issue with any government. Yeah. I reckon. See, what's happened, mate, is they've become so gun-shy about the prospect that there might be something like fake news.
Yep.
And most of this stuff, as you know, Ben, is automated.
Yes,
the computer decides this stuff. It's not actually a pair of human eyes.
Yep.
And at some point, somebody looks at what you're going to post, Steve, and realises that it's funny, right?
Yeah.
And so, therefore, it should be treated as such.
It's true. A bunch of ducks in a bowl, like from home this afternoon, having a feed.
Yep.
And you upload it and put a little simple comment up, "This is our politicians," and it's stopped.
That does seem odd, Ben.
It does seem odd, and I think it's because Facebook has had their feet held to the fire regarding the US elections and meddling and that sort of stuff, and allowing the narrative to be controlled by like Russian influence, to name one of them, but also just foreign influence and fake news. And so they have been held to task, and they are really, I think they're trying to clamp down on political misinformation, whether it's actually a false positive or not. They are actually trying to do this sort of filtering, censorship, whatever it is you want to call it. They're trying to do it at scale. Now, there is nowhere near enough people in the world to staff Facebook just to moderate the posts. So what do? We hand it over to AI. And so there is a risk that they aren't going to get it right, because this is their first time round. They're learning as we are, and it's just something that's got to be worked out. But I do have a feeling that the comment, or like the text that goes with the video, may have triggered these AI systems that would have flagged it and said, this is potentially inflammatory or untrue or fake news. We should not allow it to go up. Because they have been caught in the past, even with the horrific stuff with the Christchurch shootings as well.
Which was a totally different thing.
Totally different thing, but they've realised that they've got to find ways to act on things quickly before they get out of control.
Steve's right. They've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Yes, yes, they have. So it is a balancing act, and we're swinging hard between the extremes as we find our way to the middle.
Steve, complain to Facebook. You need to get a human being to have a look at that. 922-11882. We'll take some more calls to Ben in just a moment.
Do you have something happening in your community?
The local school fete, a community concert, a fundraising quiz night, or perhaps your sports club needs a helping hand.
Promote it on the 6PR Community Bulletin Board. Proudly brought to you by Hyundai.
No matter how big or small your event, make sure it's on the 6PR Community Bulletin Board, a free service for non-profit groups where you live.
Email details to community@6pr.com.au. Proudly brought to you by Hyundai. All day, every day, WA.
This just in. The WA resources sector is working hard to protect the environment. This includes planting more than 1 million plants and trees in Ludlow Forest to attract more native wildlife. The future belongs to all of us, so let's all do our part.
January 25th sees this year's must-be-there outdoor concert on the scenic banks of the Murray River, featuring The Jets. Supported by Proud Mary, Australia's ultimate Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Southern River Band and the Milkmen. Tickets are already hot for January 25th. The Jets Let's Get Rock 2020 at the Ravenswood Hotel. Tickets at Ticketmaster or the venue. See Facebook or website for more details from the home of live entertainment, the Ravenswood Hotel.
Exclusive to Bigton Travel, sail aboard the reimagined Azamara Pursuit on her inaugural sailing to Fremantle. Enjoy a one-way flight to Singapore, 3-night hotel stay and 12-night cruise back to Fremantle. Plus, all Azamara voyages include gratuities, beverages and self-service laundry. This 15-night inclusive Azamara holiday is exclusive to Bigton Travel from $3,795 per person twin share. Departing December 2020, visit bigtontravel.com.au/radio.
New Style Shutters Hot Summer Sale is on now, with unbeatable prices on outdoor roller blinds for your patio and alfresco. Block out the heat this summer and stay cool and maximise your outdoor living all summer long. Block out pesky bugs and strong winds and increase privacy and style. With prices reduced across the entire range of electric and manual outdoor blinds, now is the time to contact New Style Shutters. Google New Style Shutters. That's NU Style. New Style. That's how we roll.
Windows down, radio on. It's summer on 6PR. And this summer, enjoy Crown's best value offers every day, including under $20 menus.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Ben Aylett's here to talk technology. BenAylett.com is the website. That's 1 L, 2 T's in Aylett. It's also where you'll find all of his contact information. Got any queries right now? Got any technical issues you'd like to have a chat about? 922-11882 is the telephone number. One thing that I don't think is changing as we move into 2020, issues with the NBN.
Oh dear! Here we
wonder
go.
if
it's
they're
the
ever
gift that
gonna
keeps
change.
giving.
Oh, mate, it's never going to stop, is it? Hello, Norman.
I updated my computer to Windows 10 last year.
Yep.
It's going well.
Fantastic.
And
good to hear, Norman.
The other thing is that I've got an iPhone 6S and it's 4 years old and Mum wants me to upgrade to a new one with the NDIS playing.
I'm sorry?
Wants me to get a new iPhone.
Yeah. I actually...
NDIS.
Yeah, to get
8 or 10.
Yeah, to get the latest version of iOS, you probably will need to upgrade from the 6S. This is something I think we had a listener call in about after you called, and they said that the 6S is notorious for having not a lot of storage space on them. Now, it needs free storage space to be able to download the latest version of iOS so it can be installed. And unfortunately, since you're short on storage space, it doesn't get to download it, therefore you don't get to install it.
A new phone.
A new phone.
It's 8 or 10. Is it got home? The home screen's gone, isn't it, on the 10 or the 8?
On the 10, yeah, that's right. The home button has gone on the 10.
Why? What a silly move.
Well,
For those visual impaired, it's hard.
It's convenient.
To find it.
Yeah. So, yes, the 8, I believe, is still available, and I think that would probably be the best way to go.
For those visual impaired, because they can't see the 10.
Yeah, I understand,
Home screen's
yeah.
hard to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other
so
thing
go-
is, too,
go
I
for
would
the
suspect the 8 is going to be more affordable, which is also a consideration too, Norman.
Yeah. What's different from the 8 to the 6?
More
it
memory
the same
for a
features?
start. So more storage, pretty much the same features, but it's got a better screen, faster processor, more memory, and overall just better.
Are the apps same? Are the apps the same? The apps.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
All the
still
apps
using
are
my
exactly
Facebook
the same.
YouTube and
Yep. Yep.
I'm still using my apps.
Yep.
There's more.
There's no changes. So whether you're going for 8, 10, whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's Apple, the apps are the same from whether it's a 4 all the way up to a 11, I think we got now. So, yeah, it's all the same experience.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Norman. Ben mentioned go for an 8. That's not too old now, is it?
No, well, I
Not
don't
really?
think it is. I'm pretty sure you can still get the 8, and that still has that old form factor that we're used to.
People like that.
Oh, yeah. I think they nailed it. They did a good job with that one. So Apple got it right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly try and pull up their page and see what we have available. So have a look at the iPhones. And, yes, we've got the iPhone 8, and that is the old style.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So go for the iPhone 8.
What is it with removing the home? Isn't the home button convenient?
It is convenient, but in the chase for a very robust phone that won't allow water in, because the next big feature is trying to make them as water resistant as possible, a button adds to that complexity where you can have a...
Why don't you just have a
scene.
touch screen button?
Well, that's what they've got now on the 11 and...
okay.
Yeah. It's a slightly different way
Sort
to
of moved
access.
away from that physical... You're telling me they had a physical button, like it was a physical... Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so therefore it was, for want of a better term, a weak link in water resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're all going down that path.
Well, let's be honest. Plenty of people have put their phone in the drink.
Yep, that's right. And that's one of the biggest killers of phones today.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, indeed. G'day, Ben.
Yeah, good evening, gents. I've got a computer that's got 2 screens.
Excellent.
I've recently moved houses and plugged the 2 screens in again.
Yeah.
But only one screen's working. And no matter what I do, the other screen just won't work.
Okay, this is a Windows 10 computer, I take it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. And you've tried going to the settings, so you right-click on the desktop and you go to Customise or Personalise?
That's it. Hit Advanced, hit Settings, detect multiple screens, and it comes up and says, didn't detect another display.
All righty. Now, the other display, that's probably got multiple inputs, right? So we're talking HDMI and DVI and VGA?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. It is possible to switch between inputs. So you can change the input on those screens. It's possible that you've got maybe a HDMI port plugged into your laptop going into the screen or computer going into the screen, and you've got the screen trying to accept an input on DVI. So
does it make a difference? It's not a laptop?
No, it should make a difference. A video output is video output. It doesn't matter whether it's coming from a laptop or a desktop.
Yep. Okay, I'll try that then.
Yeah, so have a look at the settings on the screen. Make sure you're using the right source. And, of course, double-check your cables because that's often one of the biggest gotchas.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Ben. And that's frustrating, especially when you've got 2 nice, big, fat screens.
Yes.
Straight away. 922 118 882 number if you'd like to have a chat to Ben if you've got some tech issues. Meantime...
A Summer of Tennis update. Summer's here and it's looking good. Visit your local green grocer today and spend summer loving fresh fruit and veg. It's a better choice.
And our man at the Aussie Open, of course, is Jordan Tunbridge. G'day, Jordan.
Good evening to you.
Now, mate, you've got a bit of a story for us. I believe that we have something from Nick Kyrgios.
Yes, it's been a very good night for Australians here playing at the Australian Open. We've had 8 of them go through. The latest, Nick Kyrgios. He defeated his Italian opponent, big server, in straight sets. Lorenzo Sonego, 6-2, 7-6, 7-6. But we saw a very calm and composed Nick Kyrgios on court. He looked very focused, very professional on Melbourne Arena. Of course, there's usually a lot more drama when Nick Kyrgios steps on court, but none of that tonight. He was very on song. And look, he spoke in the post-match media conference. We'll take a listen to that shortly. He's really feeling the Victorians, the New South Wales, everyone across Australia who's affected by the bushfires. Take a listen to what he said.
Yeah, just with everything going on, walking out there, I was definitely a lot more nervous than I have been in previous matches. And Australian Open, I usually feel pretty comfortable, but I was definitely really nervous walking out there. The crowd was unbelievable. I got comfortable quite early in the match. I played an unbelievable first set, which helped. I thought the pressure kind of eased off after I won that first set, but he didn't go away. But yeah, I just feel like I'm just playing for a lot more than myself. I've said it before, so it's not necessarily added pressure, but I feel like I'm playing for a lot of people. It's just a perspective thing, isn't it? Like, why am I really getting mad on the tennis court with everything going on? I mean, I feel like I was very focused today. I feel like every match I played this year, I've been pretty good, and it's probably because of everything going on.
It's amazing. Maybe we've had a pivotal moment for Nick Kyrgios, Jordan.
Very deep and meaningful indeed from Nick Kyrgios. I think he seems to have turned a corner. Seems to have matured a lot recently, since it was only in September that he had his last meltdown, swearing at an umpire and smacking rackets and the like. But he's on probation at the moment, so he's on his best behaviour.
Well, it kind of makes sense, really, but nonetheless, I'm still sitting here rather shocked because, let's be honest, it's not the Nick Kyrgios that we're used to.
That's right. And look, I just want to touch on one more match that's currently underway. Priscilla Hon, she's an Australian, and she's on the verge of going through to the second round as well. And she's a wild card. We've had 2 wild card Australians make it through already. We're about to have a third. Very impressive night.
Mate, we'll have a chat to you in a little while, but it sounds to me like it's something that's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely tune in on 9. They've got excellent coverage, several matches underway at the moment. They're all playing catch-up from the horrible weather we had yesterday.
Well, it is Melbourne after all. Jordan Tunbridge, thank you very much.
Start your day the right way.
Have you seen this ad on TV?
Yeah, I have.
Kids looking back in the car, they get an eye full of Bristol City Mills.
Well, hold it. With Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis.
I'm not a prude.
I think you're being a bit over the top.
I thought, convinced actually she was a prostitute.
You genuinely thought she was a prostitute?
With a pair of jugs like that, of course.
Breakfast with Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis from 5 till 9 tomorrow on 882 6PR. Or catch up now at 6pr.com.au.
West Australian Symphony Orchestra present the perfect summer soundtrack with their Summer Classics concert. From Vivaldi to Gershwin and Ravel, Wasso are taking the temperature up a notch, with performances ending on a high with Ravel's renowned Bolero. Venue, Perth Concert Hall, 31st January, and matinee on Sunday, 2nd February. Tickets available from just $45 at wasso.com.au.
If you're buying steel roofing, gutters or structural building products, don't make the mistake of buying anything other than genuine high-quality Australian steel. To save you that pain, we've invented the first true blue Aussie metal detector. Here's how it works. First, we'll pass the detector over some stock standard non-Aussie steel. Now let's try Stramit's locally made Aussie steel building products.
Crikey, what a ripper!
Sounds Aussie to me. Here's the imported steel again. And the true blue stuff.
Yeah, she'll be right.
So to be sure you're getting genuine Aussie steel, get one of these. Or opt for the unquestionable quality of Stramit Australian-made steel building products using Colorbond steel. Stramit. Consider it done.
Hello, thanks for calling. Can I please put you on hold? Thank you. Line 2. Hello, thanks for calling. Can I please put you on hold? Thank you. Another one. Line 3.
How many customers is too many customers? Only one way to find out. Talk to PWD about a proven measurable marketing campaign. They've helped a local cabinet maker increase their annual sales by over $1 million. To grow your business, book a free strategy session with PWD at pwd.com.au. That's pwd.com.au.
Hi, I'm Paul McGovern from WA Hino. Test drive the new Hino Smart Truck, available now at WA Hino, the greenest and smartest truck available, with adaptive cruise control, lane change warning system and emergency braking. WA Hino, DL 13348.
Just Mercy is a film based on a compelling true story of one man's mission for justice, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. Don't miss Just Mercy in cinemas Thursday, proudly supporting our summer of tennis.
This just in the Pilbara, 200 haul trucks are being upgraded to include fuel-saver technology. The total savings will be more than 20 million litres of diesel every year. The future belongs to all of us, so let's all do our part.
Until midnight on 6PR, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley.
Ben Aylett here, talking technology. benaylett.com is the website. 1L, 2 T's in Aylett. That's also where you'll find all of his contact information. I'd have a chat to him right now, though. 922 11 882. Dino.
Good evening, Ben and Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, just in regards to on security on the computer. I mean,
good.
Mine's to be updated. Currently, I have like Trend Security, and I've heard of like Norton. I was just wondering, like, your feeling between which would be probably like your best as a security for your software.
Yeah, it really comes down to personal preference. So my personal preference is to use the built-in antivirus software and also a bit of common sense. I don't actually use any off-the-shelf products. I tend to stick with what comes with the system. But some people might find other products like Trend Micro or Norton or any other antivirus product. It might actually suit them better. But as a rule of thumb, I usually tend to stick with the antivirus that comes with the operating system. So in this case, it'd be Windows Defender.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah.
All right, then.
But look, antivirus does a good job, but nothing beats education. So knowing what to look for, because a lot of our viruses and malware comes in through email, especially one of the most virulent strains coming through at the moment known as Emotet. That's seen a resurgence recently, and that comes in and it does slip under the radar, so to speak, when people are tricked into doing things like clicking links or opening attachments or opening up Word documents and allowing macros to run.
Because I must admit, I've had a lot of emails where sometimes it comes up, like Australia Post, it's ready yet.
Yeah.
And that's a joke, because you're thinking the last time I got something from Australia Post, John Howard was Prime Minister.
Oh. Yeah, so just it's just knowing what to look for and always being skeptical. And of course, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
You know something? You want to hear a funny story, Dano? I know you'll love this one.
Yeah.
Right, you're talking about antivirus software on the computer working, doing its thing. Person receives an email, purportedly from the Australian Federal Police.
Oh, that one, yes.
Saying that you have been zapped for a traffic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you, Dino, but I've never known traffic to be something that the feds worry about too much.
Yeah.
I don't know, they might get annoyed with you going down Horry Miller Drive too fast or something, but I still think they'd leave it up to the state to deal with. Anyway, this person decides to open the link to see the photograph that purportedly shows the vehicle being driven at excessive speed. The antivirus kicks in and says, this appears to be malware. Are you sure you want to continue? Click yes. Comes up and it says, this contains malware which could be harmful to your computer. Are you really sure you want to continue? And it went through this 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they went override, 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 and then they unleashed the crypto locker hell upon their computer. But the antivirus did nothing to help them simply because they chose on 4 separate occasions, despite very loud warnings, Dano, to ignore it.
Yep.
So I guess it's the person as well, isn't it?
It is actually 95% the person. So 95% of all serious cybersecurity events have been caused by human error or interaction.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're just clearing emails and going through things, sometimes it's almost not that you're doing intentionally, but you're just trying to like go through and you go, oh no, you know, what have I done?
Yeah, so just always take your time. You know, always think before you click, that sort of stuff.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Chris.
No worries,
No,
mate.
thanks very much for
calling.
that, Dino. It's probably in some respects easier said than done. Because you look at, especially if, and oddly enough, the people who are most likely to give you a virus are your friends.
Yep.
Hey, have a look at this. It's really funny. And whatever it is may, in fact, be really funny. It's just what you get as a result of it. It's not so funny.
Yeah, so this is what we call a supply chain attack, where someone you know or someone you do business with get compromised and then their systems start spraying out nasties. And it might actually not be from them. It might be from a third party who's also got your contact details and their contact details, and it makes it look like it's come from somewhere else.
I can just imagine that.
They are insidious sometimes.
Something else I have to ask you about.
Yes, mate.
And I'm thinking, bearing in mind, a lot of people, as you well know now, because there weren't problems.
Yes.
Were very, very sceptical about whether or not what became known as the Millennium Bug or Y2K.
Ah, yes.
A lot of people believe that what that was a whole bunch of technical geeks, not unlike your good self, stitched them up big time, told them there was going to be a problem, charged them all this money for an alleged upgrade, and all of a sudden, life is good. Nothing ever happened, and they think we were conned. We're now being told about something that's going to be known as Y2038 that will appear in the year 2038. I am assured by people like your good self that this is indeed a potential threat.
Yes.
But is the problem going to be getting past the scepticism that many people are going to have as a result of what actually turned out to be a really good job done to avoid Y2K becoming a problem? See, people don't realise it wasn't a problem because there were people who realised it was going to be a problem and prevented it.
And fortunately, the technical world had a bit of help from the media world in promoting the idea of being ready for Y2K. So at least this time round, we've got an 18-year head start on the 2038 problem. Now, what this impacts is mostly Linux or Unix systems. Now, these systems form the basis of a whole, like a large chunk of the internet. So your computer might be running Windows 10 or Mac OS, but the servers you connect to, the web servers, the routers, the DNS servers, they usually run a version of Linux. And there is a known problem. They've discovered it because there are systems actually doing forward calculations. Like there was one last week doing calculations 18 years into the future. So they're working at things like insurance payouts and that sort of stuff. And it got to the point where it was trying to calculate past 2038, which was, Tuesday, the 19th of January, 2038. And it came back and said no payments have been made. Why? Because the date had wrapped around and it thought it was the 1st of January, 1970.
1970? Now, that's very specific.
It is very specific.
I have to say, in computer terms, very odd.
It is known as the Linux epoch. EPOCH, and this is like the as far as Linux computers go, when time began. So they say on the 1st of January 1970, Linux came into being, and we're going to start counting the seconds from that very moment. And
so what happens? It run out of seconds to count by 2038, does it?
Ran out of seconds. So with the way.
So what do we do? Just give it more seconds?
Yeah, we wish it could be that easy. So computers count in binary, and I've actually got it on my website, and there's also a little illustration showing what happens when a particular number ticks over and it wraps around back to 1970, or it keeps on going the way it should. And this depends a lot on how the number is expressed and stored inside the system.
You'll get some more information from that one on benaylett.com. That's also where you'll find all of the contact information.
Yep.
You and I, we shall shoot the breeze. I don't know, let's make it about this time next week.
This time next week, it's a day.
Keep you cool this summer with 6PR.